Haven't checked the messages. Hi, Jaya. There's here.
Hi.
Okay. So let's start with the GD. It's 7:10 almost. The book is called I Want to Die, but I Want to Eat Tteokbokki. And as it is, that even if you want the world to end for you, yet small things give you happiness like Tteokbokki. Similarly, even if the world is ending, this very small event of attending my GD should be your priority. So, yeah, with that, we'll be starting off. First, I'd like to know that how many people have actually read the book. Do we have people who have read it? Can you raise your hands? Great, great, great. I think we also have read the book. Jaya, have you read it? You have. Cool. Okay. So let's see what Goodreads have to say about it. The book is having 3.38% rating. It's written by a South Korean author. Her name is Bak Shehi, if I am pronouncing it right. For the people who don't know what the Tteokbokki is, being a very K-pop, K-drama enthusiast, it's something like Maggie, like the Maggie is for Indians. It's somewhat similar for people in Korea. It is something that you satisfy your midnight cravings with. I will not be reading the book. I think a lot of people already know what it is about. I'll be just giving you a insight for the people who haven't read the book. It is basically about a young woman who have recorded her conversations, tape recorded her conversations with her therapist. She feels that she is slightly depressed. She don't really have a very overpowering reason for that to happen. She has her regular um, romantic life. What is it called? Yeah, okay. That she has her career, she has everything in her life, and she sees that she shouldn't be necessarily depressed about it, but at the end of the day, she quite is. So yeah, that's there. And once you start reading it in today's context, when you see the conversations between the author and her therapist, it is quite relevant considering the social anxiety, the stress, and everything that the 21st century people are going through in the world of social media and a hustle culture. So, that will be my input on it. For the people who have read the book, one by one, I would really like to know about their opinion about the book. That how did they decided to pick it up? What kind of feelings it gave them? I will like to start with Ashwarya. If you want to talk about it, can you please let us know what's your opinion about the book?
As you guys have seen my video, and this book, why I picked this is definitely the cover. The cover was eye-catchy. It was contrast. So I thought of let's give it a try. What kind of book this have about the type? And yes, whatever the psychiatrist speaks in to her patient, every word, every single line is very personal to me. Like I'm the patient sitting with the psychiatrist, how I deal with things. Like every single word I have underlined in the book, I was like, is this me who have done so many underlines? One of the most annotated books of my life. So this book definitely I would reread this book. Like I think a second book is also on the way next year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that book holds to. Hope like this also that would hype it later. Hype it this book also. It was
Cool,
a
cool,
good book.
cool, cool, cool.
Something that close to my heart.
Mm-hmm.
I never liked a non-fiction book this much. So definitely I would ask everyone to read because people who deal with anxiety, stress, whatever, uh,
Mm-hmm.
definitely they should read that whatever the psychiatrist gives advice on things, definitely it helps in some way. So I would suggest them to read. People here also who haven't read, definitely please read. You would love the book.
Okay,
What is
great.
it? It's not a fiction, it's a non-fiction.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Will that be all? Should I ask the next person?
Aparna
Okay.
has read.
So yeah, yeah. Aparna, would you like to tell us about your experience and your opinion about the book?
Yeah, so am I audible?
Yeah, yeah, you are.
Okay, so I picked this book because RM recommended it,
Yes.
RM of BTS. That's why I picked
Yes.
it up.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I read this 1.5 year ago. As a
Oh.
person who's in therapy currently, I could
Mm-hmm.
actually relate to it a lot
Mm-hmm.
about black and white thinking, dysthemia, and the way she's comparing herself with others. That I could relate to it a lot. And it takes immense courage for one person to write about their journey in the form of a book,
Hmm. True.
their personal journey. It takes
Hmm.
if you like bad, not bad. There were times that I was sometimes irritated by her, like why is she going in a loop, same thing, she's same problem, she's falling again, even though her therapist advised her. But therapy journey is like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, that will be my thought.
Great. Kavi, would you like to tell us about your opinion, how you felt after reading the book? How was it?
Yeah, see, I decided to read this book by accident. I
Mm-hmm.
think I heard Saheli Chatterjee speaking about this book on her Instagram,
Hmm.
and that's why I picked it up. And as soon as usually Saheli's recommendations are my go to. I'll not check anything,
Mm-hmm.
I'll just directly go and read the book. So I found it on Audible and I read it as audiobook, although I had the EPUB
Mm-hmm.
version of it. So it was a very short book. It was easy for me to read, and as people said, at many points, even I am a person of extremes. I am not a person with fine balance of life. So it is more of like I am listening to myself. Where yeah, I want to die,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, I want to eat what to say Maggie, or I want to have all the pleasures of my life. Also, I want to die. I might be breaking down, but still, there are things that I care about. There are things that I want to happen. So yeah, this book felt very relatable to me, and it's more of like looking into yourself, but there are things that might be not so relatable. There are instances in the book, but majority, 90 percentage of them are like, I think I would rank this book after the book Maybe You Should Talk to Someone by, okay, I forgot the author's name. This is the title of the
Okay.
book. Maybe You Should Talk to
Mm-hmm.
Someone. This is all. It is also about mental health. So I would
Mm-hmm.
rank this book after that book, because people who are getting into this mental health awareness wala realm, then they can definitely
Mm-hmm.
try that one first and then go for this book.
That's great. Okay, we'll be taking down notes on the books that you recommended. Anyone else who have read the book and want to share their opinion, experience, you can raise your hand or you can just start talking, unmute yourself and start talking. Yeah, Jaya.
Okay, so it will gonna weird because I thought this book is all about food,
Okay.
according to cover. Okay, I haven't read the blurb and synopsis about this book. Okay, EBC suggested this book as a book of the month, so I took it.
Yeah.
Okay, then I read it like on Kindle, and
Mhm.
then the very first page, I was like, shit, it is all about mental health. Yeah. Okay. So I was like, ठीक है, ठीक है. So I am a person who never found like myself very grounded. There are
Mhm.
so many inferiority complex in all of us. So we all find it very relatable. But
Yeah.
as Aparna said कि there are so many things which are on repeated mode. It
Mhm.
also irritated me. But
Mhm.
it is very true because we always like questioning ourselves on same thing again and again every time. So I found it very, very, very good. And as Ishwara said, there are so many things to get underlined or so it is a wholesome, but according to cover, you can never judge this book. That's it's all
Yeah,
about mental health.
so true, so true.
Yes,
Yes,
I
yes,
thought it's all
yes.
about Korean food.
You were catfished by this book.
Yes, 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 totally, totally. Yes.
Okay, so Aparna has mentioned Worlds Within You by Sriya Ramchandra. Is it something on mental health as well? Like, is it on the similar lines?
Yeah, it's on
Okay,
mental health only. Yeah.
okay,
And you
okay,
can
okay.
find the book in the public domain as well. If you want, I can send you the link.
Cool, cool. It will be great if you would share the copy. We readers always love a free copy of anything that we can have our hands on. Anyone else who would like to talk about it? Or like, shall we move to the next slide? One random shot. Yes, and you loved it. Okay, so as Jaya mentioned that she was catfished into picking up the book. Let us just talk about the art of naming the book. I think that this book is one of the most brilliant examples of a book title that forces you to pick up one book. I would like to listen to some not suggestions, but have you as a reader come across a book that you solely picked up just because of the name, or you had no idea about it? If you just heard it and it clicked somewhere and you picked it up. I would really like to know. Anyone who wants to mention can raise their hand or just unmute themselves and talk. I would firstly tell about my experience. I conducted the GD for that book as well, and it was what was exactly the
It
dangers of
was
smoking on bed. Yes. Oh my God! I
yes,
was so intrigued by the name. I had to pick that book up. Anyone
same,
else? I think someone was telling something.
same. I was
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
about to.
No, in general, if you have to like talk about the art of naming a book, like what do you think? What type of names do you prefer? What type of book? If you are supposed to write a book, what type of names do you think that you find really catchy or something? I would like to listen to Kavi first. You there?
Yeah, I'm here, but I missed the question. What was the question?
I'm saying that the art of naming book. What are your inputs? Like, have do you think it's a
Okay.
very necessary tool if someone have to name their books? Do you think that you have been catfished into picking up books because of the name? Is it
Yeah,
so?
yeah. So I would like to, respond to this question in two ways, as a reader and as an
Mm-hmm.
editor. So, as a
Okay.
reader, I would say titles are very important because titles can, as you said, catfish or misguide you. At the same time,
Mm-hmm.
titles can make you feel ki, chalo, this book is for me. I should try reading it.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, but the title alone cannot do anything. Title, the cover, the blurb, Tino play very
Mm-hmm.
important role as far as a reader is concerned. Now, as far as an editor in me is concerned, I give least importance to the title unless and until it's like totally unrelated to the story. I have edited for like 5 to 6 books, and in Sare books, mein, I have found ki the title can be only comprehended once you complete the book. But there has been an instance where once the author gave away the whole thing in the title, just like Dilwale Dulhania Le Jayenge film. So I
Mm.
recommended
Yeah.
that person to change the title and gave suggestive options, because it's very important that you keep the thing. Although people who read and then only they'll comprehend the meaning of the book, somewhere, people like us who have read almost all books in trend and almost know how books go, the course of the books are, it would be easy for us to predict the ending and predict the, what is going to happen in the story, which can be a turn off for every reader, because we don't want our books to be like, हाँ ये तो मुझे पता ही था, ऐसा ही होना था. That shouldn't happen. We should be like, oh my god, what is that different aspect, what is that wow factor in this book. So
Yeah.
as an editor, I give least importance to title as far as the author is okay and author is not giving away the story. But as a reader, I
Mm.
think I look for titles. Especially, I want titles that intimidate people. When I went my home, my sister was like, she was mimicking me. Okay, she was mimicking my YouTube
Mm.
channel, and she was like. Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you books that I have read, and the books are How to Kill Your Family, How to Kill Your Husband, How to Kill Your Sister, How to Do Murder and Smile on Your channel. So yeah, I want such titles so that I can intimidate people. So yeah, that's all
Exactly.
this.
I think that it's really catchy even for the people who are not into reading. Like I think the books like the way you mentioned How to Kill Your Family or some that I haven't read the book, but that book is so intimidating that even if someone who haven't really read anything on around those genres, they will feel like, what is it about? I have to get my hands on it. I think there is also a book called One Fine Day, Everyone in This Room Will Die. So these type of titles really, give you the push to pick up a certain books, and I really agree that even though it shouldn't mean anything, but it does. And once in a while, we are kind of intrigued to pick up books which are named beautifully. So, anyone else? Yes, Aparna, please.
I recently read a book called Legends and Lattes. I picked up because it
Yes.
was because of coffee.
Haha, yes, yes,
It
yes,
was
yes,
because
yes.
of coffee, but the book is completely different
Yeah, I
and
think
yeah,
it's a fantasy and it's as far as it's magical realism and stuff like that. I guess.
cozy fantasy, not high-end fantasy, cozy
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
fantasy, beginner level kind of.
I really appreciate people for naming their books really well. I think Legends and Lattes is also a very fun title to have. Like the two worlds colliding somewhere. Legends and Lattes, such a fun thing to do. Yes, Riddhi, you have your hand raised.
Yeah, I recently picked up two books titled Dekh Ke Hi. So one of
Yeah,
them
yeah,
is non-fiction. It's
yeah.
Surrounded by Idiots.
Oh,
And
yeah. Cool name.
um, and the other is I Want to Eat Your Pancreas.
Oh my god, I have watched the anime. You are gonna love it. I know that its name is a bit tacky, but you will love the book if you are planning on it. Is it a picture book or like it's a novel?
Novel, novel.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Vidhi has her hand raised as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually read
Yeah, yeah,
recently a book. The title was so weird that I felt I should read it. And the book
yeah, yeah.
was there once lived a woman who tried to kill her neighbor's baby.
Okay, that's a fun name.
Yeah. It was the book was horrifying actually. It is a Russian literature, so I guess I can't
Okay.
expect anything less, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah, so the book it is a collection of short stories written by women. So she was kind
Mm-hmm.
of degraded by the Russians, the way she
Mm-hmm.
portrayed her characters as well as the female protagonist.
Mm-hmm.
So people tend to not buy those books in Russia, but she was kind of feminist in the when she published the books, and it is long time ago, I guess.
Okay. Now
Yeah,
you have intrigued me to pick it up because
yeah, you should
I
read
personally
actually.
have read only two Russian novels, and when I was reading it, I don't know. Matlab, I felt like something is wrong with my brain that I cannot process just a literature like that. But then eventually, oh my god, the way it made me feel for days altogether. Russian literature is something else. It's class
Yeah,
apart.
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
usually the
So,
bad. It is so bad to read. I'm sorry. It is the heaviest you can read.
oh, okay, okay. But like, okay, let's see if I can give it a try. Ishanya, you wanna talk about something? You're just texting and messaging, and we never get to listen to your voice. You there? Okay. Anyone else who would like to give their inputs on the topic, or we should like just go to the next? Uh, okay, Parna, you have your hand raised. Like, you want to
Yeah,
say
there's
something? Yeah,
another book called
yeah.
I'm Glad My Mother Died.
Yes, and it's a memoir apparently.
Yeah, yeah,
So
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
very
it's a
intriguing.
heartbreaking book, huh? Just
Oh,
a
you have read
warning.
it? You have read it?
Yeah,
No,
Oh,
no,
okay,
I haven't
okay.
read it, but I am glad my mother did.
I have
Yeah,
read it.
I've
Yeah.
seen it there. Yeah, okay. And I have read it's a very beautifully written book. So if
Huh.
someday we decide to pick it up and have a GD, let's have talk on that. Okay, now let's delve into some deeper stuff. As we all know that we picked up this book as the book of the month because September is considered to be, the mental health awareness month, and I think this book is a very good way to start your journey if you haven't really read anything. Because I myself always found self-help books or non-fiction books very repelling. So let us just talk about mental health and the society, how the society have its well-made notion about the mental health. I have seen people talking about how mental health is apparently a very Gen Z and abhi ke generation ke bachchon ka drama of wealthy kids who really don't have problems in their life, so they are creating problems in their own head. There is one such narrative, and then the narrative that it is as difficult to deal with as any other physical ailment, or even more at times. That is also a narrative, and I think post COVID, people have really started taking mental health seriously. Even the people who have been really repellent towards the idea of mental health have started considering therapy and something along those lines really feasible. So I see Aishwarya's hand raised. Let us start with her. What are your takes?
Yes, mental health for society, it's a kind of a disease. And people, I have no idea about before COVID, but when I came to know, when Deepika Padukone spoke this about the mental health, she took a therapy, and people started thinking, okay, even celebrities do suffer these things. That's how the awareness became, I would say. But and recently I'm seeing very casually people are okay to go take therapy. Yeah, it's a good idea. At least vent out your things to whom you are close with. And in June month, I lost one of my school friends, and he was in depression, anxiety due to not getting any job. And I
It's
was
really
in
sad.
shock. I literally thought might be pranking something. And then one day I came to know he was not speaking with anyone, to his parents or any friends. Then only, okay, we should take these things very much seriously. Even if my friends are not talking with me, definitely I'll put a message to them. If you are suffering anything, just vent
Yeah,
out
yeah,
with anyone else. Don't be stay mum or anything. Just vent out. You get any solution to. Let them judge for things, but you should speak out these things to your parents at least.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
Because losing a
Uh,
friends only feel we that is very personal to us. We should not like anyone suffer these things too. I used to say with everyone, better check on them. At least a single message may make their day. Yeah, people have some sad days. We may not know that. So better it is to check on them, how you are feeling, how it is, weekly once or monthly once. Anytime if I free time, definitely we should check on them. That's how it should be.
that's a very, very beautiful take, and I think yeah, in the hustle bustle of life, we often forget to cherish these little things. The power of a small message from a friend, the value it holds. So yeah, it's indeed very important. I'd also like to share a personal story. Being someone who have undergone therapy once, I think I went under therapy when it was not really seen as something. It was always been pagal thodi na hoon that I'll go to a psychiatrist kind of an era, and I started going there. So it was a very hushed topic around, even in my, like, obviously my parents knew and the very close people knew, but even to the external members of the family, it was very hushed. was a very hushed topic. I think post COVID, it have really picked up a lot greater acceptance among people. A lot of people who undergo massive changes in life, not necessarily they are depressed or something, but my uncle who have recently retired, he considered going to therapy, and I find that this ease of like people accepting that yeah, it's not a big deal. It has started in India, so I'm really proud of that. I'm really glad that people are taking it as an issue. So, yeah, anyone else who would like to give us some take about their idea, their opinion, their experiences on this topic, how society treats mental health? Yes, Aparna, please go ahead.
Uh, yeah, like where I live in the place, like there may be some development in metropolitan cities like Bangalore or Delhi or something like that. But place where I live and around by, there is still stigma
Yeah.
regarding mental health. So even the people who are, you know, people who are trained to treat that, even they are not properly qualified.
Yes, yes. I have really seen a lot of people saying that their therapist, their counselor was really judgy, and their experience of therapy really backfired. Like they kind of them into feeling that your problems are really small, and how can you think that it's a big deal that you have to come to therapy, and it's really bad.
Yeah, and also they don't like, for example, some of the relatives whom I have, they don't mind going to a people who take a certificate and then tell us we are therapists, come to us. They don't mind going towards that. But if the topic of mental health comes, they are like, no, no, it's nothing. Mental health is nothing. It's just a phase. It's just uh, a small thing. You shouldn't do that so big. So yeah, there's hypocrisy also there.
Mm-hmm. That is good. Yeah. So, anyone else who would like to give their input, you can drop a message. You can obviously talk to us if you want to, or else we can go to the next slide. It's all right. Okay, so I'll be switching to the next slide. If anyone wants to know, you should can drop a comment. Okay, so now I have this slide prepared which says West versus East on the issues of mental health. This is kind of, I'll like to explain myself for putting it up here. As someone who have been really interested in psychology, I have come across a lot of podcasts, a lot of shows, a lot of movie series, a lot of books which deal with these issues. And America, being the most liberal country, or any other Western country whatsoever, the very white privileged kids there have this notorious habit of, like considering that their life is miserable because they are going through so and so experiences, which at the end of the day tend to uh, kind of overshadow the real struggles. The In Eastern world, in the Asian context, people have this very strict notion that until and unless there is this visible impact, someone is schizophrenic or someone has autism or something very visible, until then they are not reaching out to the psychiatrist. On the West, we have this very slightest of inconvenience, and they don't shy away from using the words like depression, using like I am suffering from OCD. I have seen a lot of people using OCD just randomly that I have OCD, whereas OCD is a very intricate, very complex kind of a mental health issue.
True.
So if anyone have experienced something like that, like like the casual using of mental health terms which actually affect in something negative. Have you experienced something along these lines? Have you seen it happening anywhere in
Reminds me of
like
Ranbir
movie
Kapoor,
series?
who casually uses OCD in his interviews. I don't know why.
Yes, yes, yes. The desire to be organized is not OCD if people know it right. I think it's very wrong interpretation using very deep words. I have seen a lot of Gen Z kids just randomly throwing out that I am suicidal. I don't want to live. You know, like it's something cool. It's something very urban to say. It's very woke. So yeah. Any other takes? Anyone wants to say something?
OCD is not only with the like hygienic or unhygienic thing. OCD is
Yeah, yeah.
with complication in your mind. Like for me, if there is a messy table, messy room, so I can't take this. Like I can't work, I can't eat until unless मैं पूरा उसको complete कर दूँ, arrange ना कर दूँ.
Yes.
So मैं
Yeah,
उसको
yeah.
ऐसा OCD consider करती हूँ. Like you said that
Mm-hmm.
आजकल की Gen Z कुछ OCD को बहुत normal way में
हाँ
use
हाँ.
करते हैं. तो
Yeah,
मैं
yeah, yeah.
OCD समझी मुझे OCD है यार, just don't mess it up, just don't do this and all
Yeah.
things. For mental health, when you arrange the things, like as when you solve a puzzle, you felt a very satisfied mood or something. So as we clear our room, our table, or something else, arranging something, clothes in the wardrobe, so it like gave a very, very, some kind of energy
Huge
in me so that I
satisfaction.
can work. Yes, satisfaction. तो मेरे लिए mental health हुए. If I found myself कि नहीं मुझसे नहीं हो रहा है और ये नहीं हो रहा है, so I just do something.
Yeah,
Listening
even my
music also
roommate,
you can
she has
consider.
this huge organizing freak she is. So whenever
Yeah.
she's having, like any inconvenience in her head, when she cannot really focus, she would go to kitchen and just reorganize
Yes.
everything and,
Yes.
shelf everything properly and do it. And she says it helps her declutter her head and all.
Yes.
Yeah,
So true.
yeah. Okay. Uh, I'll be going to the next slide. I know that we have actually talked about it. A lot of people have already given some suggestions. It is self-help books and easy bestseller or essential read. As you will see, the most selling books, the books that which a person who have not read a single book ever in their life but decides to pick up will always be books like Do Epic Shit or like anything which
Power
has
of subconscious mind.
yes, yes, yes. Self-help books have proved themselves on multiple accounts to be the kind of books that really sell like hotcakes in the industry. So as the people who have read a wide variety of books, have read through genres, I would like to know it from your point of view that where exactly in the literary canon you put the self-help books. Do you think that it's just something that sells well because it's quite relatable to people, or it's something essential? It really helps. It have been helping people. I would first like to ask this question is wait, I have to check the participants. Our newest member, Abdeli, if you want to talk about it as you in reader, so I guess that you might have some takes on this.
Yes, yes, of course. I think
Yeah.
self-help book are both. They are easy bestseller also, and they are essential reads also. Like for
Mm-hmm.
me, they have been they have been an ultimate changer. Like I was also facing little bit, not much. I have never faced any mental health issues in my life, but little bit I had faced it, and I saw that self-help book has helped me a lot in overcoming my loneliness and what you say anxiety. I've read all the
Mm-hmm.
power of habits, 7 habits of highly effective people. It's one of the best books. I think everyone
Okay.
should read it. Recently the
Yeah.
four agreements is also one of the books which I read. So yeah, but
Mm-hmm.
having said that, I think that many people, many authors, like they just put anything in the name of self-help. So it's important that we first do a fact check. Like I also see कि अगर कोई self help book publish है तो what's the author like, does he have some
Mm-hmm.
credibility Prati have some proven experience in that field. If I see Kahane, he is someone who has really made a change in it, and then I go and really picked it up. And like the books I have mentioned here, that Seven Habits is one, the Four Agreements one. I don't know if you have read it, and these
Yeah.
I can just go on with all this names. I've read so many search books
No, no,
that they
we
have.
will really like a good list of self-help books because my experience with them have been really repellent. Like the first book that I picked up, which was a self-help, was The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, and I didn't like that book at all. It broke my heart that oh my god, it's such a bestseller, and it was supposed to give me something out of it. I was heartbroken. I didn't like the book. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad and stuff like that, but I never really connected. So I would really appreciate a good list of like bestseller books which like sorry self-help books which have helped people and the people who read them find it helpful. I would really appreciate, and I think people in EBC will also help because I see Jaya continuously nodding. She might also have some disappointing experiences with self-help books. So yeah, we'll really appreciate if you put down a
Mark
list in the group.
Manson, Mark Manson books I
Yeah.
have read. Everything is
Yeah.
perfect. The Art of not giving fuck something कहती book था. तो
Mm-hmm.
उसकी सारी बातें वाकई वही घूमती थी.
Yeah.
His statement like single thing repeated था तो वो मेरा एक्चुअली बहुत गंदा था. But the 5 AM Club was nice for me. लेकिन मैंने
Okay.
complete नहीं किया. शुरू के
Mm-hmm.
4 5 chapters are good. After that I just
Yeah.
didn't get.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else would like to like give us an input on this topic? Have you read any self-help book? Would you like to give? Is it Riddhi? You have your hand raised? Please go ahead and tell us.
Yeah, so I'd consider self-help books in essential reads, but
Mm-hmm.
it really depends on the book. Like,
Hmm.
uh, as someone said that research करना जरूरी है on the author.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, based on the reviews. But I guess everyone should read self-help books. Like you
Okay.
should, yeah, you really find yourself. मतलब आपको कुछ अपने बारे में पता चलता है.
Do you want to, guys? Please continue the discussion. Someone is furiously ringing the bell. I'll be back in a minute. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys.
Maybe you can
Yes, Riddhi,
continue.
what were you saying? You consider, yeah.
So yeah, I consider it an essential read, self-help books.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it really depends on the book, I guess. Because
Can
बहुत
you
सारा
suggest
ऐसा तो books.
Yeah,
few
very true.
here
You
and
know
there
what?
books here and there?
Okay. Okay, never mind. Continue.
No, no, I was asking you only. Like, do you want to suggest a few books which you think like are really essential reads?
Aha.
Yeah.
The one I just suggested in the messages, like the body keeps the score, and
Mm-hmm.
why should you not feel this way? And I'll drop the message.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. Sure. Sure. Thank you. Okay. I saw Vidhi's hand raised. Vidhi, do you want to talk about something along these lines?
Yeah, actually, I read this good self-help book. I thought that
Yeah.
people should know, I guess, because a lot of people don't know about it.
Mm-hmm.
The book title is quite big. It is How to Get from Where You Are to Where You Want to Be.
Oh. Okay.
It is by Jack something. I've let yeah Jack Canfield. It is
Mm-hmm.
pretty good book. It tells you,
Okay.
and it is effective as well.
Oh,
So
that's nice.
yeah, it helped me. So I thought maybe people
Yeah,
should
yeah,
read it
yeah.
as
Thank you so
well.
much. I'll keep that in mind. I think I desperately need to read that book because I have a huge issue of procrastination, and I really need a book which might help me out of that. Oh my god. Yeah, so these are the limited number of slides I prepared for this book because I haven't finished the book, first of all. I am midway through it, I'm loving it, I have heavily annotated it. But yeah, I didn't want to give any spoilers. Anyone who have read the book and thought that there is something important in the book that they need to discuss about can bring up the topic and we can talk about it. We have some time left yet in the discussion. Anyone? Okay. So I think people are satisfied with what I did. My work is being appreciated here. So that will be all, guys. It was a very healthy, very fun chit chat with everyone. I wish that the people who are new here thought, oh, okay, Aparna, you have your hand raised.
Yeah, so this book candidly talks about dysthymia actually, which
Okay.
is a dysthymia, which is a form of depression. So
Mm-hmm.
it also talks many things about hedgehog's dilemma, pathological lying,
Mm-hmm.
history of personality disorder, and so many things. And the thing also that you had told East versus West, I loved that the way you had put it through. And also, I have heard that I know that it's not the case, but people label the people who are diagnosed with ADHD as creative people. So people are like, okay, you have ADHD, so you might be very creative, like this, like that. So
Yes,
that's
there is this
there.
misnomer.
Yeah.
A lot of people who have autism on I don't exactly know how it's being scaled, but the people who have a lower rating, who are on the lower scale of it, they are like because my brother is into Rubik's cube and solving that. There, I think one of the world record holder of the Rubik's cubes is also a person who has autism. One of the greatest chess player has autism. So people tend to have different expectation, and there is also one K drama, if you guys know, it's called Extraordinary Attorney Woo. There also she is autistic and she is a great lawyer. So people have this, in mind, this misnomer in mind that people with autism, they are tend to be very intelligent, very brilliant at things and stuff like that. And I think movies and series, the way they are portraying some mental health related issue, even though it gives us some idea and makes us aware of things, they also give us a stereotyping to some extent. And our ideology is designed accordingly because we are not really in depthly aware about these things, right? So I think they really shape our minds along those lines. Yeah. So anyone, any other topic which you would like to highlight, which you read in the book, liked, enjoyed, or disliked, and which you want to highlight?
बुक में एक पार्ट था अबाउट एम्पैथी का कि आपके अंदर सेल्फ एम्पैथी वाला कॉन्सेप्ट होना बहुत जरूरी है सो दैट यू कैन अंडरस्टैंड समवन एल्स पीओवी आल्सो अपनी
Hmm.
साइड से नेगेटिव या पॉजिटिव सोच के यू कांट पास एनी रैशनल जजमेंट सो आई लाइक
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
दैट
yeah.
वाज
Nice,
आई
very
रेड इट लाइक क्योंकि बुक कवर के बाद आई हैवंट एक्सपेक्टेड कि इट्स अबाउट मेंटल हेल्थ
good.
बुक बहुत अच्छा
While I was doing some research for this GD and all, I was going through the Goodreads and I was checking the one-star reviews of this book. I just want to share it with you people. A lot of the people there, apparently, I understood that they are from, like probably from the Western world. So they have mentioned it repeatedly that it was monotonous, that the conversation between the psychiatrist and the patient sounded very tacky, and even after she was told to do so and so, she was not doing it. I think it's kind of like the way I don't know, like this book is a very personal thing, and I felt like these comments, even though probably they know a lot more than me, they have put it down there. But I think that everyone as a person is very different, and if someone goes to the length of sharing their personal journey and even show their flaws, at point the author or the narrator was really irritated. Like you were frustrated with her that why the hell did you do it? I think it really takes a lot of heart to, like present yourself as a bad person. When you know that, when you're writing a story, you can say like, yeah, it's just my character. She or he is doing right or wrong. But while Bakshi, she was writing this book, she knew that every judgment will be on her. People will know that it's her story. So it was really brave of her.
साइकेट्रिस्ट का पेशेंस लेवल बहुत सही था.
Mm-hmm.
She was coming with the same issues again and again, and like psychiatrist, ठीक है,
And she
I
was
have to
like
repeat that.
forming her sentence in a non-judgmental way as well. Matlab, even if she was,
Yes, yes.
like,
Every
yeah,
word was so, हाँ,
very
so
well thought,
precise.
very well put together.
Yes.
Yeah, it was. Okay, so I think that will be all, guys. I hope that you had a good time talking about the book that we love, we liked, or probably disliked. The discussion was good. We talked about a lot of things which should be considered important, I guess. And it was fun for the people who newly joined. I hope you guys turn up for the upcoming GDs as well. It will be more fun. And okay, so let's call it a day. It will be goodbye. So see you guys in the next GD. Bye.
Bye. Have a good night, all of you.
Yeah, yeah.
Hi guys.
Everyone.
Welcome to my YouTube channel.
Welcome to Kavi's YouTube channel.
थोड़ी सी
गाइस
फ्लर्ट करेंगे.
आज एक वीडियो डाला है, सब लोग जाके देख लेना.
Okay.
Is it a threat or a request? Please, can you please
कभी तो
elaborate?
सीधा ठोक के सेल्फ प्रमोशन करती है ना, मेरे को बड़ा मजा आता है.
मजे.
That's sweet of you.
I am shameless, I don't care.
No, that's not being shameless. That's being assertive. कि ऐसे कैसे मैंने वीडियो अपलोड कर दी, तुम लोग कैसे नहीं देखोगे? देखना तो पड़ेगा.
हाँ, और